All right, we continue the show here, jam-packed with top leaders, politicians and celebrity. The 90,000-seater FNB Stadium in Johannesburg, of course, last night was almost full to capacity. A spectacular concert to honor Nelson Mandela and top international and local acts participating. However, it ended in a trauma, but it's just one of many events that have been planned to honor the centenary of Nelson Mandela and to celebrate it, in fact. So to talk more about his legacy, Sello Hatang, the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, joins me in studio now. Dade Hatang, thank you so much for your time tonight. Firstly, let's talk about what happened at the festival yesterday. What was your response when you heard the stories that people have been telling about their experiences?
Well, the Nelson Mandela Foundation was not necessarily involved with the event, and we really sympathize with the victims of the crime that was committed around the festival. We believe that the festival overall really honored Madiba in a way that we've always understood him. He was a global figure. We've hosted many such events before, and I guess we would like to say to the victims of these crimes that those responsible should be caught, and we hope that the law will deal with them effectively.
You know, this is one of many events that, and I hear you when you say that you were not necessarily directly involved in this particular festival, but last week we had Oprah Winfrey in town. This week we have Chimamanda coming. We had Barack Obama earlier on in the year. So in terms of pulling numbers and pulling big names, that doesn't seem to be a problem for the foundation. But after the event, what is the real value add that you think you achieve?
I think there's a few things that we try to do post-event. So we evaluate what did we want to achieve. Say, for example, with President Obama, when the team went back, we assessed the fact that its global reach was set at about 1.2 billion people around the world. It was covered live by many TV stations around the world, and I think it's that kind of reach of the message. You'll remember that the theme for this year, we're looking at how democracy should work for majority of people, and in this era of fake news, what do you do with fake news? And it's that we were trying to achieve with the Barack Obama lecture. Then we hosted, and I'm singling them out so that we can then understand what we're trying to achieve overall. The Oprah Winfrey dialogue was focusing on gender-based violence. And not only that, but how do we ensure that we build a caring society? And it's that we try to, again, with care, say that all of us carry responsibility to make sure that we build a caring nation. So value add is not only to raise awareness of the issues we already know, but to say, what do you need to do? You need to take action in your corner to deal with poverty, inequality, and all other kinds of discrimination that's experienced by women, children, black people, people who are foreigners in our country, etc.
But do you find that that actually happens? Because obviously, you know, people may come to the event because they're drawn in by this big name. So how do you then gauge whether people are internalizing this message, connecting it, and are in fact allowing it to turn into tangible action that speaks to Madiba's legacy?
You know, one of the things that we'll be doing in the new year, and I'm hoping to come and present those results to you, we'll be conducting an M&E process for all the events that we did for 2018. That process is underway at the moment, and we should have the results of that in the new year. Our belief is that just raising awareness of some of these issues pricks something in people to then do something about it. And we are hoping that every time we pull these numbers, it's not just people who are there just to show off their fashion, for example, but it's people who then are conscientized about their responsibility to building a country of our dreams.
Of course, what also happens on the periphery of this, because you're dealing with such a big name, Madiba is also, you know, a brand, and there's a commercialization that has taken place in terms of his name. Do you see that at all being a risk to his legacy? Because sometimes how someone is portrayed determines those that will accept him and perhaps even those that will reject the kind of legacy that you're trying to keep alive.
I think one of the things in terms of commercial product is that, one, there's always a demand. People want to associate with be seen to be close to. And especially those who were not born when Madiba was around doing the work that he was doing. And we were reluctant, for example, to launch a T-shirt with Madiba's face on it. But what we did was we then had words which were values. So as part of our public education mandate, we then use such instruments for people not to just wear a T-shirt, but to wear a T-shirt that has a message. And that message is the thing that we try and push hard. And I think there's always a danger with commercial products that it can go either way. That's why for each one that you do, for example, the punching man image of victory that was then done by Kisua, that product is one of those that we then saying, remember that Madiba, when Madiba was freed, he had this sense of what kind of country he wanted. Are you still on track as a South African to build in that country?
All right. Well, it seems like you're still going to be having a busy year. What can people expect for the rest of the year?
Well, the biggie that's coming up is we're hosting Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie on Thursday. We're really excited about that. As you know, she's not just a Nigerian author, but she's an African of note who I hope will push us to dealing with this theme. Why do we remember? Why do we remember? And then on the 9th, on Sunday, we then are going to be in Tshwane, where we'll remember Madiba's passing, the 5th anniversary of Madiba's passing, and how his body traveled through Tshwane. And you can walk. I know you as a Kilimanjaro climber yourself. You can do the walk of 6 kilometers.
No pressure.
Well, or you can run. I know you are a runner too. There's 21 kilometers and also 10 kilometers, which people can still go to. And you can just go to walkandrun.com. To register for the walk and run. And those are the last 2 events that we're doing to close the year. And we want to really express our gratitude to South Africans that they joined in, not just South Africans, but the global community. And Madiba was celebrated in over 150 countries globally. The United Nations did something really spectacular on peace. And I think all of us need to then be saying, if the world can honor Madiba like this, what do we do? All
right, thanks for your time tonight. Nelson Mandela Foundation CEO, Sello Hatang. Well, it's either described as a sacred rite of passage or a deadly risk. The initiation debate up next.